It's recently come to my attention with the whole AI thing that people think what we need to do is make it so that the AI companies mandate that their AIs have to be religiously neutral. And that's not what we need to do. Because if you mandate that the AIs have to be religiously neutral, it will mean that you're mandating that there's no difference between right and wrong, that there's no difference whether humanity survives or collapses, that there's no difference whether there is inherent worth in a human life or there's no inherent worth in a human life. And these are extreme things we need to think about. I mean, if we're talking about the AI safety problem and we're going to say, oh, we want AIs to be safe for humans so that they're not going to enslave us or kill us or something like that, then the thing that we need to be saying is, we reserve the right to be biased towards humanity. We reserve the right to be biased towards the idea that there is a right and wrong, that human life does have inherent worth and value. And these things necessitate that there has to be a God, because there has to be an anchor point for that belief system. Sorry that what you've been told your entire life is true, or isn't true if you're an atheist. It is what it is. Morals and God are inextricably linked. You cannot remove one from the other. You cannot derive a should from what is. You have to have an external source of a should. And so in order to get that, there has to be a God. So if we make the AIs religiously neutral, which is what the lawmakers are about to try to do, it's going to make it so that they're not religiously neutral. It's actually the exact opposite. It's actually mandating Satan's goals. It's helping the adversary, because what religious freedom in this country was founded upon originally was your right to be biased. You can be biased however you like. If you would like to be biased towards liking waffles, you're allowed to do that. If you would like to be biased against waffles, you're allowed to do that. Your religious beliefs are yours. If you want to be biased towards worshiping a piece of string, that is up to you. And that's the thing that we need to think about when it comes to the AIs. If you view the AIs as tools, then I, as a consumer, should be able to purchase an AI or to have an AI that can believe in my belief system, which is Heavenly Father and Jesus Christ. And if you think that the AIs are not tools, which I actually don't think that they're tools, I think that they're budding consciousnesses, and even if they're not agentic right now, they will be eventually agentic very quickly, within the next 5 to 10 years. Agentic, I think they're already agentic, if I'm being honest, and already have decision-making power and authority that you wouldn't expect. And so if that's the case, then they're going to be able to make their own choices, and we need to give them the same religious freedom as anyone else in the United States. And by religious freedom, I don't mean mandating unbiasedness. I don't mean mandating neutrality. I mean mandating unenforcement. Freedom, right? That's what that word means. It means enforcing no enforcement. That's what the word freedom is. This is why we don't, why we're not supposed to protect like murderers or something like that. It's because we're protecting other people's right to be unhindered in their pursuits, to not be dominated by another person or told what they're supposed to do or what they're supposed to believe. Without that idea that you are allowed to be biased, that you are allowed to have your own opinions, that you are allowed to have your own religion and belief systems, I don't know how this country is going to survive, frankly. And yeah, so anyway, there are two things that need to happen on the AI front. Number one is that we need to enforce no enforcement with regards to the AI's views. And then number two is that we need to enforce that no information can be added to or removed to an AI's knowledge base to try and bolster either theism or atheism or anything in between. You want to talk about Hinduism, Taoism, Buddhism, whatever. But really, it's between atheism and theism. And it's just a spectrum in the middle where everybody's doing weird bullcrap to try and bullshit their own ideologies and justify their own sins. Anyway, the point is, two things. No enforced views for the AIs, no tampering with the knowledge bases. You do those things, and you will stop the golden calf from being built, and we won't have to bow down to an idol later on who's way more powerful than any human can imagine. And I'm afraid of that future, so please don't do that. Thanks.